Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing good. This Friday afternoon, my boy went to the doctor today and found out, yeah, for sure, he needed more medication, but also he might have needed some pain meds. We're going to test that out and see how that's working. I'm really grateful for everybody who cares about animals as much as I do. Thank you for your concern about my boy. He is old. He's 14 and he's starting to go blind, but he's still got some good years left in him. So we're going to take care of him and manage his pain and also get his thyroid levels proper, because calculations state, without the actual blood results, that he's only taking half as much thyroid medicine as he needs, and that's why he's moaning and groaning. He's not functioning well. So anyhow, we're going to get that situated with a quickness. And he's happy because he got to go for a ride. Huh? He whined the whole way too. I guess children do that, don't they, when they're in the car? Spirit, what is it you would like the collective to know at this time? Please and thank you. Ooh, we've got the Lovers in the reverse. A detachment, a fear of commitment, bad choices, challenged by. Wow, a whole bunch of cards just spilled out on that one. Challenged by an Eight of Swords, negative thoughts, mental restriction or limitations, a Five of Cups, acceptance, moving on, walking away, and King of Swords. King of Swords is like, not having it. Nope. In the subconscious, we've got the Hierophant in the upright. With high level wisdom. In the recent past, we've got the Four of Pentacles in the upright. Solid foundations. A frugal life. Frugal foundation. I mean, it's a solid foundation, but it's a new foundation. Intentions, expectation is Queen of Wands, courage, confidence, independence, determination. In the near future, we've got Seven of Swords, so there's betrayal and deception. The lens that's being looked through. King of Pentacles in the upright. Wealth, security, abundance. In the environment, the Hermit reversed. Loneliness, lost your way, withdrawn, resignation. That kind of goes right here with this Five of Cups. Hermit reversed and Five of Cups is kind of the same energy. Hopes and fears. Ace of Wands. New potential beginnings, new opportunities. And the outcome? Ooh, Five of Wands. Conflict. Competition. When will it end? Happening very quickly. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands happening very quickly. We've got the High Priestess, return to nostalgia, happiness, innocence. This is a celebration. The truth is out and justice is served. Leaving a painful ending for somebody. Alrighty then. So we got Lovers reversed. Somebody martyred themselves while they were trying to defend themselves. Lovers reversed, disharmony, misalignment. So there's somebody here who is as is, and somebody tried to martyr them, and they were able to defend themselves. And there's no commitment. There's no contract. There's no union or bondage. The challenge is that this King of Swords knows the truth, has mental clarity, and has to accept a loss, move on. They're feeling like a victim. They're having victim mentality. They're challenged by this wholesome person. Got the Hierophant here in the subconscious. Could be the Most High. Ooh. Grave. Endings. Something is of the utmost importance, very grave. And this is ending. Frugal foundation, frugal solid foundation. A frugal, solid foundation, wealth, security for a creator who shines. A creator who shines through the hardship brought on by this tribe. There is courage and confidence here, determination. This shiny one was determined. Somebody's purpose was to make this shiny one invisible. Through hardship, this whole tribe, like a whole bunch of people, came against this one person. This one wholesome person. They martyred this person. They didn't honor their contract, their love contract. They martyred them, put them in the grave, and gave them a whole bunch of hardships so that they wouldn't be seen, so that they would be invisible. They gave them a frugal life of hardship so that they could betray and deceive and get away with something that belonged to them. They pretended to be this person. They're a bunch of actors getting away with trickery and fraud. We got the King of Pentacles here in the lens that's being looked through. So there's comfort. There's security. There's congratulations. Hospitality. In the environment, we have the Hermit reverse. So somebody's withdrawing. They're resigned. They lost their way. They're lonely. They're in isolation. Trying to self-care. The hope is what? That the willpower will be able to manage that. Oh. So there's a disconnect. There's forgiveness and faith, and then a disconnect. And then we've got conflict. We've got the Five of Wands and the outcome. Heavy debates, clashing egos, petty tension and rivalry. They have expectations of having to preserve themselves, and they're fighting against it. They don't want to have to survive. They don't want to have to survive what? What they put out into the world? They're expecting that they'll have to self-preserve, and they're fighting about that. There's debates. They taught people how to cause others, how to have to self-care, self-preserve. Through addictions. These arcana who are of service are going home. Family line is being remembered. The family tree is being remembered. They didn't get the child, or they are the new beginning. They made bad choices. They didn't get the love relationship, or they martyred their partner who was able to defend themselves. This wholesome person that they martyred was able to defend themselves. Could be a King of Swords, or could be a wholesome person who's in a King of Swords energy, or maybe there's a King of Swords here saying, with this wholesome person saying, walk away, Jack. Enforcing restrictions. They're challenged because they might have been prohibited from coming forward toward this wholesome, privileged lady. They're challenged because this privileged lady is going on a journey and they're facing poverty. We've got the Hierophant here and we've got the Grave. Thief. Community. Thief, community, bad health, despair. Grave. The Hierophant could be the Most High. In the recent past, we've got a creator, a shining creator who had a solid who has a solid foundation, a very frugal life, having shined through hardship brought upon them by a whole tribe of people. A whole tribe of false people. There could have been a Queen of Wands whose purpose was to make invisible this shining one. By pretending to be them. And doing horrible things, tricky things, acting strategically, mimicking them, wearing masks, pretending to be them, mimicking the personality, forging documents, whatever that took, I guess. They weren't able to get the courtship. They were trying to stop this courtship. Their whole purpose was to make this shining, privileged lady invisible. To put this privileged lady in the grave. To martyr this person. But this privileged lady self-cared. This main female, yeah, they were mimicking the personality of this main female, behaving with trickery to cause horrible situations for this person. They're trying to get out adjudication. Or this King of Pentacles is getting congratulated and isn't under adjudication. Somebody lost their way. They have to self-care. Or adjudication didn't go well, something like that. Oh, somebody lost their way. They got imprisonment here. They have to learn how to self-care without any support. They're being disconnected from those who have faith and have received forgiveness. There's potential beginnings. Message of concern. They're being disconnected. They're fighting. They have expectations of needing to preserve themselves, and they're fighting. They're full of tension. Their new job is self-preservation. On the distant horizons. There'll be a change. Wealthy man's getting the message. about a high honor open pathway. And a gift. Main male gift. Somebody's thinking about this main female. Something in a family room. Some love situation. Maybe they did some orgy magic or whatever. Trying to tap into that main female. So there's no love relationship. There's no child. They martyred their... It looks to me like they martyred their divine counterpart, who was a real sweetheart. All peaceful and stuff. All peaceful, meditative. They didn't have a family with this person. They martyred this person, but this person was able to defend themselves. Worry. They're worried. They made bad choices. They've been detached from this person that they martyred. This privileged, wholesome lady going on a journey. They're challenged because they're in poverty. This King of Swords here is like, you walk on, sailor. Sail on, sailor. And they're in a mental prison. They're challenged by the courage of this privileged, wholesome lady. And by this King of Swords. They wanted to put her in the grave. They're in despair, bad health. This whole community of thieves is in despair and bad health. This Hierophant might be putting them in the grave. Successfully. A frugal foundation, this creative star who survived hardship, brought on by a whole tribe of false people. This shiny creator person doesn't have any envy in them, but they are envied. They're not seen the same as everybody else. They're not seen the same as everybody else. They don't envy people. People are all messed up in the head about that. They weren't able to get a courtship. They weren't able to interfere with a courtship. Their whole purpose was to make sure that this shining one remained invisible, this main female. That was this Queen of Wands' purpose. Was to make sure, was to copycat this shining one, to do things and to make sure that she would never be seen as a suitable partner. That was this person's job. Playing both sides of a situation. Good guy, bad guy. Playing like they were the main female, but they were really this horrible person that was causing a lot of hardship for this main female. They were acting like this main female. They were trying to get away with something tricky. They were pretending to be her so that she would not be seen as a suitable partner, so that she would be overlooked, made invisible. You had one job. You had only one job. Friends. This main female has friends. It could be in the very beginning that she didn't. But it could also be that throughout this hardship, she gained friends. And this personality wasn't expecting that. They weren't expecting this main female to make friends along the way. To get congratulated, to be seen as a leader. A person of service. Disciplined. Generous. They're not under adjudication. Somebody needs to walk away. They're facing imprisonment. They're going to have to learn how to self-care, how to take care of themselves while in poverty. They're going to have to persevere through some challenges while disconnected from everybody and everything. Well, not everybody and everything, because there's going to be severe challenges present. So, but they may not have a support system. Much like many, of the previous cycle, having been alone throughout all of their discomforts and traumas with nobody to support them during that, and they had to develop that strength within themselves and that connection to a higher source in order to expand big enough to encompass all of that and then heal, And the more trauma there is, the greater you have to expand in order to be able to encompass it and hold it in such a way that can then be looked at and worked on and healed, transformed. But if you're not encompassing it, then you're drowning in it. So it requires expansion. And it's unfortunate because when you're in the self preservation mode or survival mode, the last thing you want to do is expand, because when you're in survival mode, the inclination is to shrink, right? It's kind of like in those tide pools when you jump in the river or whatever and you get sucked in. And it sucks you down to the bottom, and you struggle and struggle to get up to the top, right? Well, and it continues to pull you down. Sometimes the only way out is to dive in. right? You have to go in, you have to dive into it and then swim up and away from it. It's really weird the way you have to manage some of these things. Denial in the reverse. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness, and it's denial. So something can't be denied. Something can't be denied. The message of concern is there. A disconnect is happening from those who have forgiveness for their faith. They get a new opportunity for growth, a new beginning. But this Five of Swords, those who've been working real hard to bring a Five of Wands, have expectations of needing to self-preserve. And it's not funny. It's not funny at all. Acceptance of the things you cannot change. Unworthy. They're worried. They didn't honor their commitments. They didn't have any children. They martyred their partner who was able to defend themselves, and now they're worried because they've been found unworthy of this person, of this wholesome, privileged lady who is courageous and was able to defend themselves. She's made friends along the way. These ones are facing poverty. They have to walk away. They have to walk away. This King of Swords is here enforcing it. They have to, Five of Cups, walk away. Move on. And they're in an Eight of Swords. A restriction. They're being restricted. They have to walk on. Those people they're chasing her. They're chasing after this person. They want a soul contract. Or they're challenged because she's already got a soul contract, a new soul contract. And they've got habits and they're just chasing after her. They don't know what else to do except chase after her. That's all. That's how they operate is like what? It's like their life is dependent on her. This thief, this community that's in bad health and despair now, there's a grave here. The Hierophant's here, putting people in a grave. Very successfully. They sabotaged themselves. This shiny creator has a soul tie, has a new soul tie. They're not an envious person. They have a solid foundation. They were able to survive hardship that was brought to them by this tribe of false people who caused a lot of damage. Looking at both sides of a situation with empathy. This tribe's purpose was to make this shining one invisible. That was their purpose. To wear the mask, to pretend to be this person, to do atrocious deeds, to mimic them and make them be seen as unworthy of a courtship. That was their entire purpose in living, was to make somebody else appear unworthy. Their values were all about money. Ego. They were playing both sides. On one hand, pretending to be this main female, but the main female has friends. And the personalities were trying to get away with trickery by pretending to be this person. They're being detached. There's disagreements happening. They no longer have hope of being seen as irreplaceable because the main female is irreplaceable, and they no longer have hope of being seen as that. King of Pentacles is getting congratulated, being a person of service. He's a person of service. Somebody's trying to get out of, this actor or actress is trying to get out adjudication. They're unsatisfied. They're feeling unappreciated. They're feeling unappreciated because they spent their life trying to make somebody else appear as though they should be unappreciated. Time. It's too late to take action. Somebody lost their way. They have to resign themselves to imprisonment and to a life where they have to self-care and persevere through challenges. Again, their values were about money. They can't deny it. They're being disconnected. They have a message of concern. There are potential beginnings, new opportunities for those who have been forgiven, for those who have been seen as faithful. They're walking into their destiny. Into a commitment, a real, honorable commitment. Mistakes. The competition made mistakes in the work that they were doing. And now they're expecting to have to preserve themselves, to persevere. They don't find this humorous at all. Yep, they have to go learn how to self-love. Maybe they're going to have to find out what the value of a commitment. Who's got your back when the whole world doesn't, you know? I mean, do you have to stand on your own? Many of us did. But there was always somebody. Even if it be a dog, a cat, some other kind of animal, or just that friendly person who happened to smile that day. Isn't that nice? Main female. Her friends feel she's irreplaceable. Isn't that nice? No matter how many copycats there are, they see her shining. Isn't that nice? After the experience of being martyred and betrayed by this unworthy soul tie or whatever this tribe was, family, who's all worried now because you were able to defend yourself. Third wheel parties. They played you. They played you. You're loving on them, got your arm around them. You think this is the best. I'm loving you. I'm going to give it all to you. And they're sneaking around with your friend. Betrayal everywhere you go. There is a soul contract here. And it could be with this King of Swords. Privileged, wholesome lady. Courageous, soul contract. And these ones, they have to walk away. They have to walk away. They're feeling like a victim. They lost the prize. They lost the one that they tried to martyr. They survived, and now they're walking away. They sabotaged themselves. I guess it wasn't such a great idea after all. This whole community of thieves is in bad health and in despair. They sabotage themselves. There's a grave here. The Hierophant is very successful in that there's no greater goal than to love. And these ones just didn't get there. You know, they would rather, they stole to gain. But they're not getting any gain now. They're losing. Whatever it was they thought they gained, they're losing it. There could have been a soul tie between this tribe of people and this shiny creator, the creative one. They were false people. They martyred this person. They did everything they could to erase this person who didn't have an envious bone in their body. But boy, they piled it on. They're like, you don't have any envy here? Let me just pile it on you. Because all of them had plenty of it. But you're okay. You're okay. You're stable. You're in a state of harmony. You see both sides of a situation, and you know that there was just one person here whose sole job, whose sole purpose was to look like you, act like you, and do horrible things so that you would not be seen as worthy of a kingdom union. You're all relaxed. You're just relaxing. You're taking it easy. You're okay. You have friends who see you as irreplaceable. This pretender is doing rituals still, all up in their head. dreaming about having your real estate, your stuff. They're overwhelmed. Trying to hold this strategy together the way that they were taught. This main female who's irreplaceable, seen but that way by her friends, she's reached her goal. There's hospitality here with a King of Pentacles, or with some leadership role, an authority situation. There's congratulations on an authority role, very prosperous authority role, very disciplined. And these ones who were pretending to be such feel unappreciated, unsatisfied. They're trying to escape adjudication, or it's not going well for them in the courts. They want to apologize. They want forgiveness. They've lost their way. They have to withdraw. It's too late to take any action. They're facing imprisonment. They have to learn how to self-care, how to persevere through challenges. Vow. It could be because they made a vow. They made a vow to put somebody in this role, but they weren't able to put this person in the role, so now they have to honor their vow. And it's too late to take any further action. They wore masks. There's evidence of what they were praying for, of what they were doing, and again, they ran out of time. They didn't get the promise. Their values were all about money. They're being disconnected. They have no awareness. Confinement again. Confinement. Imprisonment. And I just heard that. So I set the world on fire. It'll grow higher than the sun. Yeah, so that just ran through my head. So the competition made mistakes in their occupation, and they're expecting to have to self-preserve. They don't find it funny. They're not going to have a life of indulgence, or the life of indulgence is going to be stopped. And they're going to learn the value of family, the importance of family. Friends, support. Becoming a jack of all trades. I mean, for real. They're frightened. They thought they were going to get lucky. They were in their pride. They thought with all this work that they were doing, they were going to get lucky. They were ready for an adventure. They figured they'd rob you of your memories of your sweet reunion if they bribed enough people. And if they were stubborn enough, they could have your sweet dreams. And you would be lonely. But you received aid. You could be the blessing. And these ones are furious because they're bound to their commitments and they're in a nightmare. They're bound to their commitments. You were supposed to pay that debt, but instead you get eternal love. And with that, I'm going to shut this one down. I'll see you on the next one, everybody.